What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Road Tuesday, and today we are playing a Meowstic Bats Wobbuffet deck. Yep, you heard it right. We are playing Meowstic EX from the new set Generations. Can it work or can it not work? That is the big question. And I actually want to give a big shout out to Zamora. He actually gave me the list. I'm going to say his Facebook name is Zamora Zebra Zamora. I don't know why his Facebook name's like that. That's not his name. It is Zamora, but you know, whatever. But there you go. It's actually his list. I know a lot of people have been requesting Meowstic, and today we're going to show it off. We're going to actually show off his list. He has been testing around, having fun with it, and he's always sending me Snapchats of the deck and stuff like that. And I said, all right, we'll play it. We'll play it. I know some other friends have been playing it as well, just for fun. But let's go over the deck and let's see what's it about. Alright, so we're going to go to the Pokemon first, like always. And our main attacker is going to be this Meowstic EX. It has 160 HP, which is fairly low. That's a low HP Pokemon. But it has the ability to Shadow Ear. Once during your turn, before you attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may move one damage counter from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So anywhere, Meowstic can move a damage counter from one of your bench Pokemon, the opponent, maybe your active Meowstic, onto your opponent on their side of the field, which is great. And it has the attack Mind Shock. It's not the greatest attack, don't get me wrong. It says 60. And this attack's damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance. So it does straight 60. You don't worry about anything. You just hit 60 and you're good to go. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use Meowstic. But the kind of how the deck works is kind of like Wobbuffet Crobat. Now, Wobbuffet Bats, the kind of problem it had was early game, you really didn't have a good attacker. So Meowstic kind of fixes this. You can start hitting for 60 turn 1, while Wobbuffet, you're only hitting for 10 damage. Now, Wobbuffet's such a good Pokemon. It has the ability Bite Barricade. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, each player in play, in each player's hand, and each player's discard pile has no abilities except for Psychic Pokemon, which is great. One of the biggest set of Pokemon right now is Shaman. Shaman is a colors Pokemon, and when you put this down, they cannot use their Shamans. You can't use your Shamans either, but this does hurt a lot of decks. And your main attack is going to be Psychic Assault. It does 10, and this attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So once they have 10 damage counters on it, you can do Psychic Assault for 110, which knocks out pretty much anything. If they have 90 damage on it, you can do 100 damage, which is 190, which can knock out pretty much anything in the field, which is great. And that's why Wobbuffet is such a good attacker. But as you can see, early game, the max you can do is 10 damage, maybe 20 or 30 with a Muscle Band and our Fighting Fear Belt. So our early game is going to be Meowstic, and then we are going to transition over to Wobbuffet. That is the plan. We play a 4-3-3 Crobat line. Crobat has the Sneaky Bite, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and the Surprise Bite, put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And this is how we're going to spread the damage to certain Pokemon and then start using Wobbuffet to pick up knockouts. We do place 2 Shamans. You have to play Shamans in almost every deck to help set up to draw 6 cards in your hand. And we play 2 Jirachi with Stardust. You discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. If you do, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon, during your opponent's next turn. So you can obviously use this against Night March. You know, Jirachi Stardust is a great combo. Toad, Giratina, Rayquaza, all those decks need energies, special energies to attack, and Jirachi can just kind of destroy them with Stardust, which I do like a lot. And let's hop over to the energies, because this does need somewhat of an explanation. 2 Psychic energies, you need, 2, this is good. You need 2 for the Shaman, maybe for everybody needs Psychic energies. Jirachi needs a basic energy to attack, so Stardust could work. So there we go. The 2 Rainbow energies, or 2 Psychic energies, there we go. I couldn't say it for some reason. And 3 Rainbow energies, which might seem kind of weird, but the whole concept of you put the Rainbow energies onto a Meowstic, and then you can just move the damage counter from the Meowstic to another Pokemon, which is pretty cool. Like, you gotta remember that Meowstic has this ability, Shadow Ear, so you can move energy from the Meowstic. You get attach a Rainbow Energy, then move that damage counter that you got with the Rainbow Energy, and move that damage counter to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which is great. And 3 Mystery Energy, it can only be attached to Psychic Pokemon, but the retreat cost is 2 instead of whatever, or it's 2 less. So Wobbuffet then has free retreat, Meowstic then has free retreat, which is pretty great. I do like Mystery Energy a lot. If you want more rainbow energies, you can maybe cut a psychic energy for rainbow, but then you can't super rod rainbow energies back in the deck, and then that's not good. You can maybe cut a mystery energy for a psychic, but then you might start with a Wobbuffet, and you need to attack with, well, if you're attacking turn 1, then you can't touch energy regardless. So maybe cutting a mystery energy for a psychic, it's not that bad. It's not that bad to play at all. You could maybe play well, you're playing 8. You could play a 4/4 line if you want to get that spicy. But it's up to you. You test it out and you see what you like. And let's go over to the trainer cards. 1 escape rope. Both players switch their active Pokemon to a bench. Your opponent does it first. 1 lava ball. Search for Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Reveal it. Put it down. This can get you Jirachi, Zubat, Golbat, and that's pretty much it. That's why you don't play too many lava balls. You could play more if you want to search out more Zubats turn 1, which I would agree with that if you want to. 1 Super Rod, shuffle 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energies. So maybe you could play more Psychic energies, like I said, so Super Rod is more effective. 3 Super Scoop Up, flip a coin of heads, put 1 Pokemon, all cards attached to it into your hand. This game, you put a Crobat back in your hand, maybe a Shaman, maybe a Meowstic, maybe her Wobbuffet. There's a lot of options that you can use Super Scoop Up for. 4 Trader's Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, pretty much a staple in almost every deck. The 4/4/4 engine, 4/8/12. It's pretty much standard, all standard. 1 AZ, put 1 Pokemon back into your hand, discard all cards attached to this. Now this is definitely used for Crobat. You're going to AZ, pick a whole Crobat line back into your deck, into your hand. You don't have to discard the Golbat and Crobat, those go in your hand as well. But you will have to discard a Psychic energy or any energy attached to it and a tool if there is one attached to it. 1 Giovanni Scheme to draw to have 5 cards in your hand, or do 20 more damage. Now, the 20 damage might not seem like it matters, but you gotta remember this deck is doing it's doing 10s and 10s and 10s and 20s and 30s. So this 20 damage might matter a lot later on in the game. 1 Judge, both players shuffle their hand into the deck and draw 4 cards. 1 Lysander, 1 Birch, 4 Sycamore, we know these cards do, and 3 Dimension Valley. Dimension Valley makes it where each Psychic Pokemon's attacks cost 1 energy less, and that means Meowstic just needs 1 energy to attack, the Wobbuffet needs 1 energy to attack, Crobat doesn't need any energies now, and Golbat doesn't need energies as well, which is pretty neat to do if you can't pull that combo off. We play the 2 Fighting Fury Ball to give your Meowstics or any of your Pokemon 40 more HP, and they do 10 more damage, and 1 Muscle Bait, so you do 20 more damage to the active Pokemon, and that is the deck. It is a Meowstic Crobat deck. Like I said, the whole concept is you use Meowstic early game, and then use Wobbuffet later on to sweep the game. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Shout out to Zamora one more time for giving the deck list. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and let's see the game right now. Alright, we're putting against Andreas Salfi, I'm not sure how to say the name, but call heads like always, and we won the coin flip, which is great. We have a turn to put down our Zubats, so we have a turn to Golbats and everything, and let's see what they're playing. Alright, we mulligan turn number 1. Man, if only the VS Seeker was like a Pokemon, it would be really, really good. Alright, so we're going to show that we have a mulligan, we show Dimension Valley, and a bunch of other random stuff. Alright, we do get double Meowstic turn number 1. So we can put Meowstic on the active spot. We'll press done and let's see what is our opponent playing. What will they show? What is going to come down to the active spot? They're going to... Oh, they have another Pokemon in their hand. And it is... Oh, a Vespa Queen deck. Alright, so we're going to put a Mystery Energy to the active. Put down the Meowstic. Dimension Valley. And we will Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. And can we find some Zubats or not? Alright, so we do get a Zubat. We will Fighting Fury about the active just to kind of give it, 200 HP. Seems pretty good. Trainer's Mill. We'll grab a, we could grab a Judge or an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball could get us another Zubat, but then we don't have another supporter card. So I'm going to go with the Judge for right now. Let's put the Judge in our hand, and we'll put down the Wobbuffet. And we could retreat into the Wobbuffet, and I think that's a great idea. Let's retreat into the Wobbuffet. And then we'll just end our turn. We're saying, hey, you're not going to play any Shamans down. We have to license around the Wobbuffet and take a knockout that way, which I think is a really cool play. So an Unknown comes down. Now Unknown can be used because Bio Barricade only shuts down Pokemon with abilities, except for Psychic Pokemon, which Unknowns are Psychic Pokemon. They receive a start of Megaphone, getting rid of our Fighting Fury Belt. There's a Battle Presser. Going to discard 3 cards out of their deck. And I wonder, it must be like a Night March Vespa Queen deck. That's what I'm going to assume it is, but, it might not be. But let's see what the 3 cards are going to be. So it looks like, oh, so triple Lampet being discarded. So it is a Night March Infested Queen deck. There we see another Battle Presser. Going to discard 3 more cards out of their deck. Maybe some Pumpkaboos or Joltix. Maybe Joltix. Joltix can be knocked out fairly easy by our attackers. So let's see with 3. And the good thing about this matchup is Dimension Valley is going to stick out forever. Like, it's always going to be there, which is great. Our opponent probably only plays Dimension Valleys. So that means we always have access to it. And there we see discard some Joltix, which is smart. So 2 Joltix and a Pumpkaboo. So 1 Joltix is priced. And there we see Ishana go to shuffle his hand into deck and draw 5 new cards. And can he find a... I mean, he might play Forest. But if not, then we'll be okay. A Pumpkaboo comes down. Pharaoh Letter, discarding the unknown, drawing a new card. Alrighty. And do we see it? Okay, another Pharaoh Letter, going to discard that card, draw a new card. Man, if only we got another Zubat down, we could double Golbat, knock out the active, and then knock out Pumpkaboo with the Meowstic. That would be really cool to win the game, but sadly we did not get the other Golbat. We maybe could have Ultra Ball for Shaman, but that's okay. We're still in a really good position. There's an Ultra Ball, discarding a Joltik and a Dimension Valley. Okay. So it looks like he's gonna grab another unknown. Alright. So another unknown coming to his hand. So that'll be his 3rd unknown? Yeah, 3rd unknown coming down. Alright, and a pass onto our turn. Alright, what do we get? We get a Golbat. That's great. Not really. So we'll put down the Golbat, put 20 onto the active. And the reason why we're doing this is because if we draw into a Psychic Energy, we can just use Psychic Assault for the knockout. And, yeah, while Super Rod is in our hand, might as well play it. Try to get that Psychic Energy back into our deck. And let's play Judge. Let's see, can we hit a Rainbow Energy as Psychic or a Mystery Energy? And we do get a Rainbow. That is fantastic. So we can Psychic Assault for the knockout, and that's what we're going to do. Rainbow Energy to the active, and we will Psychic Assault, taking a knockout on this Combi. Alright, so we'll go down to 5 price cards, and let's see, what do we get? A Super Scoop Up. Alright. So, my opponent's probably going to promote the good old Pumpkaboo, okay? Oh, man. Alright, so Pumpkaboo's probably going to come up. I mean, I don't think he'll send in the unknown. He definitely probably needs the Pharaoh Letter. So Pumpkaboo comes up to the active spot, and let's see what our opponent decides to do. There's a Combi coming down. Okay, Pumpkaboo comes down as well. There's a Pharaoh Letter, going to discard a unknown to draw a card. Alrighty, and there's a DC going to the active. We can't see a Night March. It will knock us out. Alright, so we see, how much is that? 280 damage. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Alright, so let's proc the Golbat, and let's see what happens onto our turn. What do we get? We get a Crobat. Alrighty, Alright, so let's see. So once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may move 1 damage counter from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So what we're going to do is we're going to Crobat, put 30 onto the Combi, try to hit another Rainbow Energy to take a knockout on this Combi. So we'll put 30 damage on that guy. We'll Ultra Ball, discard the Lysander and the Golbat, and with this we are going to get a Shaybe. Come on down, Mr. Shaybe himself. There he is. Alright, so we're going to Shaman, draw to 5 new cards, and let's see what do we get off the 5, and let's see, hopefully we get that Rainbow Energy. That'd be pretty cool. And there's not one right now. So put down the Zubats. We will Trainer's Mail just to try to thin our deck out. We'll grab an Ultra Ball. Alright, so we'll see an Ultra Ball discarding a Dimension Valley and an AZ. We'll get another Zubat. We could go for another Wobbuffet. How many? So 1 Golbat. Oh, there's 1 discarded, right? Oh, so 1 discarded, 1 to play. I think we'll still grab the 1. We could Super Scoop up the active. So yeah, I'll put down the Zubats. Let's Super Scoop up, and let's see, do we flip heads or tails? And there's a heads. I'm actually going to pick up a Shaybe and going to put it back down, drawing 5 new cards. Yep, and let's see, what do we get off these 5? Alright, so we could Skill Dive this guy. But let's fight a few about, it doesn't really matter. Put on the Shaman, and then we will Birch, come on, Birch, don't let us down, buddy. Can we get that Rainbow Energy or not? The pull-up, oh, Tails, only get 4, and okay, we got the Rainbow Energy. So we are going to retreat into this Meowstic. Hopefully I did not mess this combo up. Rainbow Energy to the active. We will use the Shadow Ear, move good damage counter to this Combi, taking a knockout, going down to 4 prize cards. Alrighty, so there we go. Alright, so we get a Lava Ball. That's great for the next turn. And then we will Mind Shock for 60 damage, which is enough to knock out the Pumpkaboo, and we will go down to 3 prize cards. Alright, so that was a pretty cool turn. A VS Seeker coming to our hand and owns our opponent's turn. Let's see what happens. Alright, so that's a pretty good turn. An Unknown comes down, could use Feral Letter to draw a card. But the good thing is, if you put down a Combi, we can a Level Ball for Golbat, put that down, VS Seeker for AZ, pick up a Crobat, put down the Golbat, and take out a Knockout, while also still using the Mind Shock for the Knockout as well to go down to 1 prize card. But let's see, does he go for the Combi or not? That's the big question, and we will see looks like a puzzle time. The question is he using 2 or 1? It looks like he's only using 1, but now he can use Shamans if he wants to. And so you see a VS Seeker, probably grabbing a Sycamore. Okay, a Shauna. He must not like his top 3, and that's why he's going for a Shauna. Is there even a Sycamore in there? Oh, there's not even a Sycamore in there, so he has to go for a Shauna. Alright, so there we see a Feral Letter, going to discard the Unknown to draw a card, and does he find another Pokemon or not? That's the big question. We do see a Trainer Smell. Going to look at the top 4 cards of his deck. It looks like an Acrobike will come down, and does he put another Combi down? He does have two Pumpkaboos, 1 in the active, so 1 left overall, 1 Joltik, and we don't know how many Combis he's playing. We see an Acrobike, and what will he discard? That is the big question. But still, we got the good old Shadow Ear this turn. That was a pretty cool play. So he discarded the Lysander, okay? There we see an Ultra Ball, going to discard a Puzzle Time and a Trainer Smell. And will he go for a Shebe, or will he go for a Combi slash somebody? But there we see Combi coming down. I mean, not a Combi, a Shebe, sorry about that. So Shebe coming down. Gonna put a DC to the active. He can Night March. They will see a Shebe coming down as well. Gonna set up, gonna draw 4 new cards. And the question is, so there's a Combi, so we can get the double knockout this turn. Alright, so we see a Night March, gonna knock us out. But we can go down to 1 prize card. My opponent will have 3 as well. We're gonna have 3 left this turn. So yeah, going down to 3. We'll set up the Crobats, and we can have this really cool play. So on our turn, we get a Giovanni Scheme. Alright, I don't think that really does anything. We could maybe go for Jirachi, but I don't want to go for that. Let's VS Seeker for that AZ. I think it's in the discard pile if I remember correctly. And there it is. I'm going to grab that AZ. We are going to AZ up that Crobats. Oh, let me Level Ball first. Make sure it's in the deck. I'm pretty sure it is. And there, yeah, there's the Golbat. Alright, so what we can do is we can Golbat, put 20 onto the Combi. Yep, so I would like to put 20 on that Combi. We will AZ pick up the Crobats. Alright. Send up the Meowstic. We'll put down the Zubat. Put down the Golbat. Put 20 on that Combi. Taking another knockout. So we'll go down to 2 prize cards. And then we can use Mind Shock for the knockout. So we'll take 1 prize card. We get it to Mitch Valley. We will use Mind Shock for the knockouts. And we'll go down to 1 prize card. So it's 1 to 3. Let's see what's going to happen. My opponent can still easily get a knockout this turn. But we have access to use double Crobat this turn to do 60 damage just by itself. Unless somehow uses Hex Maniac. If he uses Hex Maniac and gets a knockout, I'll be pretty scared. But there we see a victory streak coming up. My opponent realizes he can't do anything. We could actually knock out the Shaman this turn. We could put down Crobat, Ultra Ball for another Crobat. And then we could have used the Meowstic for the knockout. So there we go. The Meowstic Crobat deck taking the win against the Night March Vespiquen deck. I think it's a really good matchup. We have Jirachi, which we didn't even use. Just having the access or the ability to take multiple knockouts because of Crobats and Golbats is such a great concept. But let's see, what do we get off the bonus wheel? Let's see, what do we get? Come on down. Let's see, and we just get tournament tickets. Boo. But if you give me a second, we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second. We'll see what happens. Alright, putting its Sword in, playing a Dragon and a Colors deck. I wonder what this could be. Maybe a Dragon Rayquaza deck. Oh, that could be fairly interesting. But the call on the coin flip, and let's see who goes first and who goes second. That is the big question. Let's see what happens. The call on the coin flip, and we lost the coin flip. So we will go second. Alright. So, I mean, maybe. So, yeah, our opponent's going to go first. Yeah, I don't see why we would ever go second. But, ooh, we actually have a really good start. So, my opponent has no basic Pokemon. I'll put down the Meowstic. We'll put down the Zubats. And let's start the party. What are they playing? Okay, so it is a Mega Rayquaza deck. Oh, man. How do we deal with this Mega Rayquaza deck? It can hit us for 300. I think it's the 300 damage one, right? If I remember correctly. Oh, this is going to be fairly interesting. We did have the advantage, but I don't know how. Yes, we'll draw one for the mulligan. There's another rainbow energy, and there's a Rayquaza and a Hydreigon. Alrighty, so, man, oh man, this is going to be a tough one. But we'll see. Maybe we can do something. We'll see. Alright, so our opponent is going first. Let's see what kind of start they have. There's an Ultra Ball, going to discard a Lysander and a Lightning Energy. Alrighty, going to get down the Shaman EX, and maybe we can go after Shamans. There's a Scorched Earth coming down, a Double Dragon to the active, and a Shaybe. Going to set up draw 5 cards. Alright, well the cool thing about this is we can use Jirachi. Jirachi could start us, discard the Double Dragon Energies, and maybe help us out that way. Oh, that could be fairly interesting. There's another Rayquaza coming down. But we know that my opponent plays Lightning Energies, so they can eventually just attack us without Double Dragon Energies, but they can only do that for so many turns. We see another Ultra Ball, going to discard a Escape Rope and a Mega Rayquaza. So here's Mega Rayquaza. It needs 5 energies, but you discard 2 energies attached to this guy, and it does 300 damage, which knocks out pretty much anybody. Another Shaman comes down, going to set up draw 6 new cards. If only we had a Wobbuffet start. Scorched Earth with the Fire Energy, going to discard and draw 3 new cards. Trainer's Melt, look at the top 4 cards of their deck. And let's see what they decide to get. I mean, yeah, get a Professor Letter, alrighty. And next turn, they can actually attack us. They can use, ooh, a Reshiram comes down as well. Gonna free retreat into that Reshiram. Alright, so things are not looking good. We'll see a Turbo Blaze from the ability. Gonna put the Fire Energy on that Rayquaza. And things are not looking good for us. Alright, so you see another Professor Letter. Gonna search for 2 more Fire Energies. There we go. Next turn he can Turbo Blaze, putting a Fire Energy on that guy. And using Scorched Earth as well. So we get a Crobat. Alright, we're gonna Ultra Ball, discard a Sycamore and a Rainbow Energy. Might seem kind of weird, but I think it's okay play. We'll grab a Jirachi. We're gonna threaten him saying, hey, we have a Jirachi ready to go. So let's grab the Jirachi, put that down. We will put a Rainbow Energy down to the Meowstic, and we'll use its ability, the Shadow Ear. And we're just going to move the damage counter to the Rayquaza. I think that might be the best play. And we will Birch. Come on, Birch. Don't let us down, buddy. We got to risk it in heads. Alright, do we find the Dimension Valley? And we don't find it. Alright, so put down the Wobbuffet, and we will just pass. We could retreat to Wobbuffet. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to treat the Wobbuffet, and then we're just going to pass. Like, we could keep Meowstic in the active spot, but with Wobbuffet being active, we can buy a Barricade, making it where he can't use his abilities. No Turbo Blaze, but he can use Scorched Earth still. Yep, he can definitely still do that, and that is what we're seeing being done. We see a Double Dragon Energy going down to Rayquaza EX. Alrighty, but Jirachi just might save us. We'll see. Let's see what they decide to do. He can't free retreat right now because Wobbuffet is stuck in the active spot saying, hey, you don't have any of your abilities. You have to Lysander or Escape Rope this guy out. And there we see a Mega Rayquaza coming down and onto our turn. Alright, so we get a VS Seeker. We'll put down the Golbat. Put 20 damage onto this Rayquaza. Alrighty. Let's see. Fighting Free Bell is kind of like irrelevant. It doesn't really do anything for us. Select Energy is kind of useless. We'll put it on the Jirachi. We saw we could attack with it maybe next turn. And we're going to VS Seeker for a Birch. Yeah, we're going to Birch. Trying to hit some more Zubats and Golbats and stuff. So let's play down the Birch. And let's see what happens. Come on, Birch. Don't let us down, buddy. And tell us. Alright, only getting 4. Alright. Alright, so I think we're just going to pass. Let's see. How many Scorched Earth are in his deck? None. That's great. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to end our turn, on to our opponent's turn. Let's see what happens. Next turn, we do have a Crobat. We can do more damage to that Rayquaza. Maybe we should have been stacking the damage onto Shaybase. There we see a Spirit Link going down to the Rayquaza. We see a Scorched Earth, going to draw 2 new cards. And can he find a Switch card? And then maybe some way to retreat, like a Switch and a Mega Turbo. There we see a Lysander. Oh, buddy, please Lysander this Jirachi. Make my day. Come on, Jirachi. And there we go. Jirachi be Lysander to the active spot. Alright, so things are going to get weird. Alright, so Turbo Blaze is going to put a Fire Energy from his hand onto that. Okay, that Rayquaza. Oh, he can already attack with this one, so that's not that big of a deal. Going to put these Mega Rayquaza. And, yeah, things are going to get interesting for sure. So he will Turbo Blaze, taking a knockout. There we see Ultra Ball discarding a Rayquaza and a Reshiram. Going to get another Mega Rayquaza. He can just evolve this turn since he has a Link. And that's what we'll see. And we'll see a Dragon Ascent. Going to take a knockout on our poor little Jirachi. How could you do that to my buddy? Oh, Dragon Strike. Not even... Oh, man, that's such a good attack. And Heads. What does that do? Wait, hold on a second. I think... What, does it do more damage or something? If Flip a Coin to tell us this Pokemon can't use Dragon Strike the next turn. Alright, so we're going to put the Golbat. And let's see what happens on our turn. We get a Sycamore. Alright, so we're going to Crobat. Put 30 on the active. Bring it up to 120... Or 60, sorry, 60. Put down at Dimension Valley. We will... I think we're just going to Sycamore. Just going to discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. I really don't put down another Meowstic because it's another life standard target. So I really don't want to do that. We get a Super Scoop Up and an AZ. Okay. Alright. Alright, so we're going to... Okay, so we know that Jirachi is priced. Or that the other Jirachi is priced. Okay? We need to hit a Psychic Energy. So we're going to Ultra Ball, discard the AZ and the Crobat. With this, we're going to get another Zubat. Alright, so come on down, Mr. Zubat. Yeah, we need to hit a Psychic Energy. Alright, so put down the Zubat. We will Shebe, draw in 3 new cards. Can we hit any energy to use Wobbuffet this turn? And alright, so there's a Mystery Energy. So put a Mystery Energy to the active. We'll Super Scoop Up, trying to pick up that Crobat and Heads. Alright, so Crobat goes back into our hand. We will send up the Wobbuffet. Put down the Zubat. And we can Psychic Soul for 60. And then 70. So we'll have 100 left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Fighting Fury Bell in the Fighting Fury Bell. And we're going to Psychic Assault for 110. I did the 80, sorry, 80. But it should have, what, 90 left? And what can happen next turn is we can use Mind Shock for 60 with the Crobat, with the Golbat and a Rainbow Energy. We can take a knockout this turn. That's what we're going to try to do. Get a Rainbow Energy, and we're going to knock out those Mega Rayquaza this turn with Meowstic. I think that's the best play we want to go with. So we see Sycamore opponent discards their hand, draws 7 new cards. How many double Dragon Energies have they played? Just the 2 on the active. Okay. Okay, alright. Okay. There's another Shrine of Memories coming down. They can use Dragon Ascent again to knock us out. Well, actually, Dragon Ascent doesn't knock us out. It only does 130. There's a double Dragon going out to Mega Rayquaza. And there we see a Dragon Ascent, so he will take a knockout, do 300 damage to our poor little Wobbuffet. Alright, but can we hit a Rainbow Energy or not? Is there any left in our deck? That's the big question. Alright, so instead of the Zubat, alright, on our turn, we get a Ultra Ball. Okay. So we'll Golbat, put 20 onto the active. We will Ultra Ball, discard a Judge and a Crobat. And let's see, is Super Rod in our deck? That's the big question. Let's see, is it in our deck? Okay, there's a Rainbow Energy, Super Rod, and a Mystery Energy. So we have 3 outs. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play safe. We're going to grab a Golbat. I know that's, not the risky play, but we have to play safe. So put a Golbat down. Put down put 20 to the active. And this way we can knock it out with Meowstic. We'll do a knockout. Yep. So put a Dimension Valley down and we'll Sycamore. Discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. Can we find an energy or not? And okay, we got the Rainbow Energy regardless. Oh man. Okay. So we need to draw into Super Rod. So we're going to Trainer's Mode, trying to search for a Super Rod. There's a Super Scoop Up. That could be good. We will Trainer's Mode again. Looking for a Super Rod and via Seeker. That's great. Alright, so not a Super Rod. We will retreat to Meowstic. Rainbow Energy is the active. We will use its ability before it gets knocked out. We'll Shadow Ear, put a energy damage counter onto this Rayquaza. Sure. And we will Mind Shock for the knockouts. Alright. We'll take 2 prize cards, and hopefully 1 is a Jirachi. 1 and 2. Let's see, what are they? There is a Super Scoop Up and a Via Seeker. No! Alright, so I opponent promotes the Reshiram, and let's see what kind of turn can they have. Now, they are down 2 double dragons. Okay, there we see a Turbo Blaze. Going to put a Fire Energy from their hand onto that Giratina, the Mega Rayquaza. Okay. We see a Spirit Lake coming down to the Shebe. We see a Scorched Earth. How many Dimension Valleys are we down? We're down 2. There's a Birch. Alright, so maybe he doesn't have it. Didn't hit Tails. Alright, maybe he whiffs it. Fingers crossed. Did he whiff it or not? That's the big question. If he did, then that'd be great. Things will be looking good for us. Let's see, what does he get? Does he have anything or not? He does need another energy attack with his Mega Rayquaza. We see his feeling going down to Shebe. And a pass on to our turn. Alright, what do we top deck? A Zubat. Okay, that's not great. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to escape rope. He's going to have to promote somebody up. Yeah, we're going to escape rope. And let's see who decides to send up. Let's see who he sends up. He's going to promote a Shaman. Alright, so we're going to send up a Golbat. We are going to Crobat, put 30 onto the active. We're going to super scoop up, try to pick up this Crobat, and Tails, alright. Oh, no, heads. Alright, we got the heads. I thought it was the Tails. We'll pick up the Crobat, put up the Golbat, and then we have, my opponent concedes the game, realizing that he was going to lose. Oh, man. I was going to super scoop up, pick up the Crobat, put it back down, hit 30 for the active, do another 30 damage. Man, that would have been, oh, man. Why did my opponent not play it out? But there we go. My opponent conceded the game. Meowstic taking another win against Mega Rayquaza. And there we go. There's Meowstic, Crobat. I know this game wasn't the greatest, but there we go. My opponent concedes the game, realizing he couldn't do anything. Let's see. I would have Crobat, probably Ultra Ball to get out a Wobbuffet and attack that way. If we can hit a Dimension Valley and energy, maybe. If we got another energy, we could just attack with Meowstic for the knockouts. There's a lot of different things that we could have done. So there we go. Yeah, Meowstic taking a win against a Mega Rayquaza, which might seem like a really hard matchup, but we do have Wobbuffet, which I really do like a lot. And like I said, if we got down the Wobbuffet the last turn, we could have put that in the active, making our opponent couldn't use like Turbo Blaze, he couldn't use Hydreigon's ability, and he would have a hit of energy, and I guess he didn't have one in his deck. But there we go. But thanks for watching. I'm kind of curious why he didn't promote the Hydreigon. But, yeah, I mean, if he promoted the Hydreigon, he would have been probably okay. Unless we got a Wobbuffet out, then he would have been kind of stuck in the active spot unless he had more VS Secrets left in his deck. But there we go. There's Meowstic, Wobbuffet, Bats. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know Game 1 was a lot more exciting. We kind of saw everything that we wanted to. And in that game, if I would have known I would hit that Rainbow Energy, if I would have just risked it like I always do, then we could have took a knockout, put that more damage onto a bench Pokemon, and that would have been a cool play. But there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Alrighty.